Hello everyone, my name is Tariq and today we're going to start a new series in my channel. It's gonna explain the entire Lens Studio. I know it sounds crazy, but what I'm going to do in this series, I'm gonna teach the entire beginner templates in Lens Studio and intermediate templates, all of them, all of them, you can hear this, and then we can go to the advanced ones and you're gonna learn Lens Studio from A to Z. So let's go ahead and start with the first template over here, the 2D objects template. So starting with this template, as you can see here, we have the 3D scene, and we can see that this template is 2D images that tracking the face or the head of the user. So if we can see here, let me just turn this off and let's go to we can see the camera, and the camera has attached something face retouch. So the face retouch is like to retouch the face skin of the user. We have the soft skin, so as you can see here, there is no soft skin over here because it's at 0 value. So when we move it like this, the face retouch is gonna retouch the face of the user. And we have a teeth whitening as well. You can move the value from here. You can see the difference, this with the retouch and this with no retouch. So this is the face retouch you can use in Lens Studio. We just finished from the face retouch. Let's go ahead and see what the template have for us. So we have here head occluder. So the head occluder is like to occlude anything for the entire head of the user. So for example, like I want to make this 2D images in front of this head. So I'm gonna explain all of these in here. So we can see here it says forehead binding. So the forehead binding, it means like it's gonna have a custom point. So anything you put here is gonna attach to the forehead. For example, let me turn this off. So you see this custom point. So this custom point is actually attached to the forehead of the user. So once we put the forehead binding over here, and we have the face index at 0, which is only one user can see this 2D images in his head. So we have the purple lift. You can adjust this and move it on here on the 2D scene of the template. So we now understand how this works. So just like you can add, so let's go and add head binding from here. And as you can see here, it's remotely adding to 1. So this one is going to be if I add a second person over here, anything I attach here is going to go to the second person. So let me duplicate this one and move it to the head binding, and you can see this thing is going to attach to the second person, but we don't actually need the head binding over here. We're just going to duplicate this and change the face index to 1. So as you can see here, the second user also have the same ears over here bind on the forehead of the user. And we have the other things as well. We have a face center binding. So anything you put in here is gonna bind in the face center. For example, we use here a sunglasses, and we have the nose 2D image. So this is gonna bind on the head user in the middle of the face, which is called face center binding. And we have here the left cheek, which is going to be in here, and the other one, the right cheek, which is going to be on the other one, on the other side. So as you can see here, this is the left, and you can apply the image, your custom image. You can replace your own texture from here if you click here and you put any other texture like this, for example. So it's going to follow the face on here, which is bind to the left cheek. And the same thing for the left, and the same thing for the right one. So as you can see here, we have two different ones. So if you want to see how can you make this very simply without using the template, which is the template is helping you do everything in here, we can just try and add something like this, like head binding. And then once we do the head binding, let me just move it to 0. Let's assume that you're creating a new project here, okay? So you go to face image, and then you have the face image over here. So you can see I have points on the eyes and have here and on the mouth, and we have in the face center, but we don't have a forehead because in the template they put like a custom point which is can be moved to the forehead or the left cheek or the right cheek or the face center. So let's say I'm gonna add something, one of the template texture here, for example this lens. I'm gonna scale this and bind it to the middle of the face so it's gonna fit the user over here like this. And you can do the same thing and see here you have the head binding. If you want to attach it to some point, for example let's say we want to attach it to the forehead, it's gonna directly move it to the forehead, but we're not gonna use like glasses in the forehead, but sometimes we can, like when you move your glass above your head you can put some of the textures here or your own textures. For this, for example, this crown is going to be attached to the forehead, and you can also move it as well. It's not going to be like directly to the point which Lens Studio gave you. So this is how can you use the 2D image, 2D objects template in Lens Studio. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you like this tutorial.